So here we are, next morning. This is cured very well. It's properly dry over there. You can see it's still a bit shiny there. But basically, perfect, exactly the way I wanted it to come out. So I'm going to leave it, I'm going to leave it like this for today. Sun's out. I'm going to go and head down to the coast. Little time with the kids. Okay, well, had a lovely lunch down in Lerici, the Bay of Poets, where Byron lived, and where I go and I've shown you regularly. The sun is still shining, it's beautiful. There's a kid down here. And I'm going to not do a huge amount today. Tomorrow is going to be the big day, but what I am going to do is take off all of the wood shuttering and see if we can start getting set up for the top of this wall here. So obviously the steel comes up, take off the edge there of the overhang, which I'll show you in a minute, and basically prepare everything. But first things first, let's get the shuttering off and see how it looks. Okay, well, there we go, that's where it bound in. As we come down here, all looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's certainly good enough. And now we've got a nice line to set up for the top of the wall. So it'll now just be get a board on this side, shutter on the other side, line everything up, and we're good to go. Okay, so I need to lift this a little here. That's our line, and as you can see, I got to get a little bit closer up to the wall, but the wall is very dodgy there, and it gets a little bit wider, it gets a little bit higher, but in fact we have a stone overhang here. Let me see if I can lean my camera out far enough so that you can see what I mean. And that isn't on the other side, and I don't really want it. I want it to go up flush to the wall, and then I'll be running my metal finishers along the wall there, and I can seal them in, and that's pretty much what I want to do. At that side there, facing dead south, I don't really want or need an overhang. A little overhang like that I'll probably end up keeping on that roof there, but on the other side of this roof it's gone. It was made of those same bricks, and it completely rotted, obviously because there's just nothing here. So I'm going to get rid of it, and then we'll line up some nice boards and fill and get our reinforcement up this wall here so that we build onto something, and we'll try and get as close to good stone as we can, because this is nothing. This is just nothing. So as I start taking this edge off and getting back to something we can use here, it's the top end is just completely rotted away. So I'm taking quite a lot of stone out. There are all these lovely flat stones, but I'm going to have to put them back in. So I'm going to actually have to do some stonework here with the cement, and put them together so that we get some sort of proper wall, because if I just cement this up, there's too much. That'll be too much cement. So yeah, look at this. I'm just sending it down to the balcony there below, but it's well, if it wasn't what I was expecting, it would be very concerning. But you never know how these houses held together or why. It can't just be habit. There must be something in it. But I mean, you can see how the stones just crumble apart. It's not surprising that they want earthquake-proof houses, I can imagine. Although having said that, you know, it's been here for hundreds of years, and there were some pretty big earthquakes in between time, and yet everything's still standing. So the neighbour's son came round for a coffee a little bit earlier on. He said that the last time that this roof was done was 1978, and that's as old as I am. And this whole thing is about me not being useless yet, so hopefully the roof isn't useless yet either. See, we're there where we need to be pretty much. That's sort of the edge of the wall. It's not very straight, but we'll have to get that piece of metal somehow lined up with the edge of the wood. And then once the edge of the wood, the last end plate is on, because I'll put a wooden end plate on that I'll treat, and then the metal behind that, once the wooden end plate is on, which will replace the shuttering, then we'll just fill everything up. So it should be okay. Should be okay. But yeah, as you can see, it's just a whole lot of nothing. It's super strange. I don't know what it was. That's the thing. I knew that it was supposed to have been lime, but it's not even dirt. It's just, I don't know what it is. There's lots of it, and it's not great. So it's best to do it once correctly. I'll have all of this off and get it all nice and straightish, and as straight as the wall will allow, and give it something for the cement to hold on to, and cement as many of these stones back in to make it nice and straight, and get a really good level top of the wall on this side. And then the whole of this side of the roof should just basically fit together afterwards. It's you know, preparation, but then it should be Lego. That's the plan, at least. So as I go back and take off the loose bits, a new line, which is presumably the old roof line, appears, and will probably match up to both of these beams. At least on this side, obviously not on that side. So pretty poorly wood here. As you can see, there's some serious woodworm in that, which there isn't here, presumably because of the smoke. That's preserved that. This might have been woodwormed when it was put in, but look at the smoke and yeah, it's just a not clever bit of wood. This one, oops, it all just kind of crumbles apart until you get to this layer here, which is then solid, and that's what we'll be working from. So same as over here, the last time it was repaired, they added stuff on top, and what they added has turned to dust, but what was under it is still pretty good. So that's basically just going back one level and then building it forever. Bit of steel, bit of concrete, lots of stones, and I think this will come out perfect. We've got a nice line, and it'll be nice, you know, remove obviously there, and we'll be completely square with both sides, because this is flat, that's flat, everything will look and work much better. So yeah, see if we can get this out. Oh. Another sad and smoky bit of wood there, and surprise surprise, and then surprise surprise, some nuts and some chestnuts and a whole load of I don't know what's holding that top bit of the wall together, probably those big stones. It looks like it was built up, and that's the old bit, and then we've lost a bit here. Now ideally I would jack this up, but I'm not going to be able to. But what I might do, although unfortunately tomorrow is Sunday, what's this? A bit of wood as well, broken tile, just what that is, if that's tar or but ideally here probably would be to get a level beam in there to go from here in the wall across to there while I'm doing this. That makes the most sense. I'll have to see if I've got one. That's a pretty good bit of wood, but it's shorter, I think, than the width. So I shall have to have a look. Oops, bit of dust there. I've been avoiding it quite well, but yeah, it would be time, and then make a hole in the wall over there and get a nice beam set to hold the whole thing together. On the other side we're pretty good with spaces. That beam's obviously been changed and sits much better, and there's much less stuff on the top of the ridge of that roof, the same as at the bottom. That side is really pretty good. This side is really pretty poor, to be honest. So yeah, just gonna keep going, stripping off. Yeah, I'm not going to get a good bit of wood on a Sunday, I don't think. Not locally anyway. And Monday, I'm busy all day, so on Monday I really need to, or on Tuesday morning, which is the 1st, that's when I'll be heading back. I need to get everything waterproofed again, so that's getting the tarp back over. Yeah, I'll have to think about that. I have to think about where I could get a proper bit of wood on a Sunday, because it needs to be quite long. It needs to go into the walls properly. So let's just hold one of these. These are 4 meters long, and see how well that does. So it sticks right out and it goes all the way across and touches there, and that's 4 meters. So that would be plenty if I can get a 4 meter long, but I want something that's at least double, so it can be 8 wide, but it should be then at least 14 deep, and I put it in at a nice angle like that, and that would give it some proper, really good seating. So yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to be doing, and it would make sense to keep it as near to this beam as possible. I want to keep this beam visible to hang hams and stuff off, but not structural. It's pointless as a structural beam. But I don't think I'll have too much problems digging a little hole in that wall there and cementing this in, and I'll certainly have no problems there, just clearing out this space here from dust and muck and lining it up there. So that's my plan. That's definitely my plan, and that's an excellent plan. I'll go and talk to the villagers and find out what their suggestion is. I imagine one of the bigger DIY stores about half an hour away. They're all open on Sundays, and I would be able to get it there. So I might have something, but I don't think I do. We'll have to have a look. Okay, well, you can hear the compressor going. I've did a little bit of blowing, but you can see I've taken pretty much what was loose off. It's a good line actually. Still stuff to kind of just pull off the wall and clean up. There'll be a lot of brushing and lots of blowing. But that's going to be our line. I think there might be one or two more at the top. That's going to be our line down to work to. And then I just need a 4-meter beam across. So that's it for today. The overhang is gone. Got a nice flush level on the wall, except this one stone here, which, funnily enough, just sticks out. Right, I don't know why, but I'll just crack off the edge of it there, and we'll be perfect. So there we go. Didn't get up to much today, but still, all goes in the right direction. So last view today is what we're looking like from outside, and you can see the difference in the wall. Everything that was on top is just flat stones that were laid up there, I presume, from when they took the stone roof off. But this is the proper wall, and we're down to the proper wall now. There's a little bit of wood there that I've just seen there that'll have to come out. But basically, that's it. We'll get a nice straight line from the bottom up. We'll cement it all the way up with lots of stones, make it look good. And then we'll have a nice bit of wood to finish it from this side, and these metal finishers, which will stop any water getting in from the edge of the roof. Right, time for a shower, I think.
Chi è la mamma? O sono io la mamma che ho cane sto
Okay, well, good morning. It's another morning. It's the last morning. We're leaving this afternoon. So I didn't get anything done yesterday because we went down into Liguria, down towards the French border, to go and have a look at a boat. Very nice boat. I'll show you some pictures now. Because, well, we've always dreamt of owning a boat, and at the moment the prices seem to be very low, so we'll make a final decision on that in the next couple of days. But for now, what I need to do is finish cleaning up so that when I come back I can get straight back on it. Let me show you what I bought yesterday. So there does seem to be some sort of wood shortage. This is pretty much the best they had. Now, it's not very thick, but it is quite high, and I thought if I put two together, but that's probably massive overkill. So I'm not going to fit them now. I'm going to see if I can find another bit of wood. They have these 8x8s or a 10x10, which I don't think would have been very useful there in the middle. So yeah, and also it's become very expensive. I imagine it's because most of it comes from Eastern Europe. So as you can see, I'm just laying the beams back on as they were. I've added an extra one because we had a bit of a belly here, and then I can pull the tarp and tie it down with a fixing board at the bottom, so they're all sort of hung together. There are nails that go over the top of there, so it shouldn't really go anywhere unless there's a proper storm, and then, well, that's pretty unlikely, actually, to be honest. There will be some rain next week, apparently, but yeah, we'll see how we get on. But the beams come and lie perfectly on this, exactly as I had planned. They need to be a bit longer, so I'll be taking some of the old ones from there, like this, which are already sort of cut down on the edges to get nice and close to the edge. But now I'm just going to basically provisionally nail with my nail gun a few bits together, and then tack some wood around so that it sort of holds the top a little bit better. That's what I've got planned basically. The backside isn't going to move much, and it won't be 100% waterproof. You can see there are little holes already, but the roof wasn't 100% waterproof. I want to keep water out of the top of this wall, and that should work. So that's the plan. Well, and there we go. My tarping's getting better. It has now got a couple of little holes in it, but I think it'll be fine. It's not going to be torrential, and I will have to come back soon. I put some additional bits on there to try and avoid too much swimming pooling. And now I need to go and tie it to the scaffold over there. But I think this will hold for a couple of weeks until I make it back. Was quite strenuous again. All this is. There we go. Not the prettiest, but it'll hold up. And when it's all done, it will be the prettiest. So pretty good. Right, I'm going to go get some stuff out of the car and then start packing. Okay, well, I'm back in Innsbruck, as you can see, back on my balcony. And the weather has changed a little bit. That's all snow, it's still in the clouds, but it's been a very snowy day today, and the road to Italy was snowed up as well. So we've been back for a couple of days. I'm working out when I can head back down. We're still jury out on the boat, but I don't know how many intelligent decisions one has to make in a year. Obviously buying the house was a bit of a hard one as well, and maybe buying a boat will be too. If anyone knows about boats, let me know in the comment. It's a Regal 2660. So any words of advice would be useful there, because I don't know much about boating, but I'd like to know a lot more. Yep, so that's about it. Now at the end of this video, I'm just going to add some footage that I took with the drone going from above and around the village and stuff. If that's interesting, I'll put some music behind it. If not, then feel free to leave now. Thank you all very much for watching once again. We have 20,000 subscribers. That's 20,000 of you who are interested in me faffing about on our beautiful house in Italy. So thank you very, very much. Thank you again for all of your comments. Thank you for your time. I hope you're all well. Stay safe, take care, and bye-bye for now.